Hey guys, Daniel here with a review for The Martian. Very quickly before we start this review, I'd just like to let you guys know my reaction for the Star Wars trailer. I liked it a lot. Something that I thought it did that other movies aren't doing today is it didn't give away the plot. It showed us what we wanted, but I still know nothing about this movie. And I think films are giving away way too much nowadays. I see a trailer and I'm like, I already know the movie. I already know what's going to happen. I love about this. It touched on everything we want. We saw Han and Leia. We saw Han again, what role he's going to be playing. We saw Kylo Ren, the Dark Sith. We saw Rey and Finn, and a little bit more what they're about. Finn has a lightsaber. That's awesome to me. But yeah, it doesn't say, oh, he's a Jedi, he's a blah, 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 blah. All we know is just a little bit more. It progresses it enough so I can go, hey, Rey, I heard that name. Now I'm gonna care about this person. Finn, there's a little more. He's a lightsaber. That's super cool. When does he get it? It doesn't tell me, and that's why I'm excited to go when I see the movie. And I just love that. I loved it. Anyway, so into the review. The Martian, Sir Ridley Scott, Matt Damon, and a whole plethora of other people. We got Jeff Daniels, Jessica Chastain, who I thought was a great antagonist in Crimson Peak. She's back again. We have, Michael Pena from Ant-Man, Danny Glover, and, Kirsten Wiig as well. Something I'd like to address this, is that this movie is mainly about Matt Damon. So yes, I think other than Matt Damon was 80% of the film. The two other people who held spots were Jeff Daniels and that guy from 12 Years a Slave. Once again, I know the name, don't know how to pronounce the name, not going to try and pronounce the name. So, but those three, everybody else is way, way low. And even they're way, way low. So I just want to get that out of the way. That was probably the only complaint I really had. People like Jeff Daniels and Donald Glover got their time, which I really like. Same with Jessica Chastain. Michael Pena's funny. He's funny in this. I think that's what I'd like to touch on first, is this movie, Matt Damon goes not only through emotional changes, but physical changes. There's always a nice bit of comedy, and it's not forced. I never was like, oh, that joke was forced. There was no point in this film where I was like, oh, that's a forced joke. No, it just came naturally. Like, he was just sitting there, and then he just had a joke, and he just decided to share it to lighten him up, and it made the movie funny. There wasn't a whole lot of quips back down at NASA, but there were some funny parts that I truly did enjoy. Michael Pena had a few funny moments, and I enjoyed it a lot. Another thing that made this movie great was the tangible science that was easy to grasp. I got it. It wasn't some interstellar science where Stanley Kubrick and, Chris Nolan, far out, it doesn't make sense. But, heck, I didn't get it right there in the theater, but I could Google search it, and I could be like, yeah, all of this sounds very, very believable. I think there's probably only one part in this film where I was like, I don't know how tangible that is, but, it was the third act. It was the very last act of the film. But the rest of it, I almost felt like I was like, take me to Mars now. I know what I'm going to be doing, because all of that made sense. He explained it well. It was explained well. I loved that about this. And so, I think there was a lot of cool things. This was a nice mix of CGI and practical effects, which was nice. Ridley Scott was always someone who liked to do practical effects. Even in movies like Exodus, his latest one, he did practical effects. And he only used CGI to enhance his practical effects. That's something I liked a lot. Another interesting thing is he shot with 4 cameras. From what I've heard, is 4 cameras. So every shot was shot with 4 cameras, which was just incredible to me. And so, guys, I think I'd like to wrap this review up. Martian, great time. Probably it's going to be out there with Black Mass on this film, along with Mad Max. But Oscar season, it's one of the contenders. I haven't seen a whole lot this season yet. I've only seen about 3 or 4, as you guys know. But like I said, October is kicking off good and strong. It's going to be great. I can't wait I know we have November, December, and January, and then a couple of laters in February, not necessarily for this Oscar season, but next. And it's going to be great. I'm super excited. Okay, bye-bye.